Welcome to the Movie Draft Podcast. I'm Ethan Simi, and today I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Ben Lawhorn.
Hello.
And our incredible guest for this episode, Cameron Ritter with the Rolling Tape.
First-time listener, long-time listener, first-time caller, however you say that. Good to be here.
I love a long-time, first-time, so it's a pleasure to have you on, Cam. And today we are collaboratively drafting Tom Hanks films. Cameron, first time on the Movie Draft Podcast. Welcome to the arena. It's a pleasure to have you. How are you?
Doing well. Just came off celebrating a birthday. Did my Heretic. That's what I'm calling it.
Ooh.
Saw Heretic and Here the same day on Friday. So I'm sure that will be. It'll take a long time for us to get to Here in this Tom Hanks draft. I'm sure. But yeah, doing well.
I'm glad to hear that. Yes, it'll take a long time. I'm on that side of history. Ben, how are you? What's up?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for this draft. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think this draft will be something. I think it'll be akin to Tom Hanks's career, to be honest. I think it'll have its ups and downs. Will it amount to anything special? Maybe not. But I guess it's an exercise that we'll do here on the show. Cameron, I do have one question for you. We were looking for a guest for this Tom Hanks pod, and listeners might be a little shocked to learn that this is not an auction draft as we had originally scheduled. We kind of switched things up for November. The first time we've ever done like a kind of an episode theme swap. We changed the Tom Hanks into a collaborative draft. We thought it would be enhanced in competition, I guess is the best way to say that. More competitive field. And I was asking Sophie and said, look, we need a guest for the Tom Hanks. Like, it can't just be Ben and I. We gotta have a third on this. She suggested you. The only reason that I dive into this is because she's obviously not present with us here, and I just need to know, how much did she pay you to come do her bidding?
Currently zero. We'll submit. I think it might depend on the results of this draft, right. but no. I mean, she and I are good friends, but we have some pretty different tastes. So there's not I think she was more just scared to compete against me than paying me to do her bidding here. But
I like that.
That's okay.
Like that.
Fair. Yeah. No, that's fair. I know she would probably put the terminal at 1, so more power to her, I guess. I'm genuinely curious. I don't know Sophie's takes on Tom Hanks. So I honestly don't know what she would put at number 1.
I feel like I don't know either of your takes, so I think this is some of the most blind I'm coming into a draft. I'm like, I feel like I know what his best stuff is, but I don't know what you guys think. So this is going to be interesting.
That was going to be my next question. Is this the most blind draft that we've had, at least between you and I? I mean, Cameron, I don't know any of your Tom Hanks takes. I feel like we always know at least where somebody is leaning, and Tom Hanks, I have no idea for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, time will tell. Got to keep the cards close to the chest. But man, no. But Tom's one of those guys that is just like everybody. At least there's nobody I know that hates Tom Hanks. It's more about the movies themselves maybe than it is about the man and the actor.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I think he's like America's dad or whatever. You know what I mean? Sure. It's like everyone's like. He's great. He's got to be one of the most loved actors, if not one of the best American actors, So
wow.
I think people are going to have some opinions on how this ends up. I'm just curious. The only thing I know about Tom Hanks with you, Ethan, is what you think about Toy Story franchise. So it's like, that's all I know.
What do I think about the Toy Story? I don't even know what I think about the Toy Story franchise.
I know that we did a Pixar draft and the Toy Story you picked was Toy Story 2.
You're the best
which
one.
Is a wild take. So
it's the best one.
I don't know about that, but
Stinky Pete. Come on.
We'll see. We will see.
That's definitely the one I watched the most as a kid. So
thank you. It's the one that had a video game. Toy Story 2 had the video game where you have to go fight Zurg.
I don't know if I was old enough for that. I'm sorry, but
too early to have this conversation, guys. I don't know why we're discussing Toy Story right now. So is this a good time to bring up my take on Tom Hanks? Like, is this a safe place? Have we established that between us so far?
Oh, it's not safe at all, but you should bring it up. Like, yeah. Bring it up.
Safe as it's going to get, for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I like that take. As safe as it's going to get. That's true. I guess I'll utilize the time and the space, the non-safe space, to say I watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tom Hanks movies in the last 10 days to prepare for this draft.
Yeah.
This is one of the drafts that I've prepared for the most, and I kind of want to put a pin in that and come back to our preparation for this kind of a draft. I don't know if Tom Hanks is a very good actor. Is that a bad thing to say? I feel like I'm on the outs on that one.
I feel like you're on the outs on that too.
He's a great guy. It's exactly what you guys said. Everybody likes Tom Hanks. Nobody really hates Tom Hanks. But is he a good actor? I don't know, because every movie that I've watched, I was just like, is it Tom Hanks or is it the movie? You know what I mean? It's exactly what you said, Cameron.
No,
is it you?
Yeah, is it you?
It can't be me. There's no way.
No, I think he's one of those guys. I also will get into the preparation and stuff, but I watched several things, and I was like, he's kind of the same. He's kind of doing the same thing a lot, but not the whole time. But I feel like he's always a steady presence that elevates those around him, and that he gets these couple scenes in most movies to where he can steal the show just a little bit. He's never super hammy, or he's never going to be when you think of acting, you don't necessarily think of big Tom Hanks monologues and stuff, but he is just an ever-present force. That's probably more. It's more of the consistency factor than it is the potency, maybe.
That's my problem. I like Bradley Cooper too much.
That is a problem.
Yeah, digs on my Tom Hanks energy.
His star burns bright for seconds at a time. That's for sure.
This is not. I should not have brought my boy Bradley into this conversation. That's rude. Rude of me. The last collaborative draft we did that we completed here on the show was the A24 horror collaborative draft. I think that was a couple of weeks ago. Cameron, I know you weren't on that episode, but it got a little squirrely. I think that today will probably be more unhinged, but in different ways. You know what I mean? We don't know what everybody wants, whereas previously on A24, we kind of had an idea until someone was like, Hereditary at number 3, and then that came out of left field. So
it sounds accurate to me, though. I think that's a solid choice.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, Hereditary 3.
What would have been your number 1, Cameron, on the A24 horror?
Oh, that's a great question. Probably Midsommar. That's the one that I think I didn't see. I saw Hereditary in a theater, but it was a very distracting experience with certain patrons of the theater. I don't love that theater, so I didn't go back very often after that. But Midsommar, I think, was a little later in my getting more into movies career, I would say, and so there was a lot more I could appreciate there with the quote unquote elevated horror situation, and also Florence Pugh exists, so that's really cool for me and for all of us.
Cameron not paid by Sophie confirmed right there. That is what I needed to know. I finally got the truth.
I didn't even know that was her take, or that was anti her take, but it's
oh yeah, that is literally the Antichrist to what Sophie was trying to preach here on the show.
That's my role.
Okay, relationship to Tom Hanks. We kind of started to dive into it just a little bit. I gave my hot take. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about your relationship to Tom Hanks as an actor, as a guy, his filmography? Anything you want to get off your chest now before we get intense in the draft?
I'd say that I thought that I'd seen a lot of Tom Hanks movies, and then I was trying to see what all I needed to catch up on, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's in everything. And it's just especially in the 90s, it's just he's got 2 or 3 a year, and it's just these are all the things I need to watch before I get on this podcast. But I think that I had some sort of relationship, but he's never been my super favorite actor. I just remember, hopefully this one doesn't if this one makes anyone's top 11, I will be sad. But The Post, that was my first movie pass movie.
Why do people hate The Post? What the fuck?
Hold on, Cameron. Hold on.
You need to calm down, Cameron.
This is a pro post.
This is a pro post.
Sorry, the post.
This is a pro the post pod here.
I'll say that I waited about 3 weeks for my movie pass to come in the mail back in the good days of that, and that was the first thing I saw, and I was like, man, what a bummer.
He's got the juice. No, man, he can act. That's what I'm saying.
I think that has something. That movie has more to do with Meryl Streep than Tom Hanks for me in my disdain. But this isn't a Meryl Streep podcast, so that's okay.
Unfortunately,
not yet, at least. Yeah. Ben, anything you want to get off your chest?
I mean, we had a couple Tom Hanks VHSs growing up, so there's a couple movies that I have watched a lot, especially as a kid, and I met goofy Tom Hanks really early on in my life, and then he became like serious Tom Hanks afterwards. I was like, oh, this guy, he can do it. He's not. This isn't all bachelor party or Splash or whatever. Like he has some credibility. So I'm curious to see how much of what eras of Tom Hanks we end up with.
You're saying Splash, no credibility. Brings no cred for him?
I mean, not for me anyway. I don't know.
People always talk about Adam Sandler being the guy that goes from like comedy to serious. I mean, Tom Hanks, great example of that as well. Like you mentioned, Ben, like it's like early 90s, he does the hard pivot to like tons of serious movies. He's like Philadelphia, Apollo 13, and Saving Private Ryan. Like, and then The Green Mile, like just all within the span of like 6 years, which is just kind of insane. I gave my take. I don't know if Tom Hanks is a good actor. I think this exercise will help me determine an answer to that. And that's honestly what I've been looking forward to the most about this draft, is that hopefully I will have closure on my thoughts on Tom Hanks. I do feel like I need to get one more thing off my chest before we dive into the actual draft. Cameron, you briefly alluded to this. Tom Hanks is credited with 65 movies. It's a lot of films. It's a lot of movies. I thought I had seen a lot, and it turns out I hadn't. So I tried to watch as many as possible. Ben, as you know, I was texting our group, panicking almost every day, saying I don't think I'm not gonna do this in time. It's not gonna happen. The reality is, I haven't seen some very big Tom Hanks movies, and I need you guys to know. I need the listeners to know. I need my conscience to be clean, because when we talk about perhaps some of these very big Tom Hanks films, and I come across and I say, you know what, I haven't seen it, I don't want the eyes of Satan staring into my soul. I just want people to understand me. I'm just a man. I only watch as many movies as I can.
I think what's more concerning for me is knowing which Tom Hanks movies you have watched that you chose to watch or choose to love, and that might get brought up on this pod. I'm concerned.
I didn't rewatch any Tom Hanks movies. Trust me. Ask Molly, my partner. I wanted to rewatch things that I loved about with Tom Hanks in them so bad.
I believe
and
it.
I refused. And I said, no, I must press forward, and I must watch Castaway, even if I fall asleep during it. So that I put my all for this podcast.
There's only so much time. You can't be I did the same. I didn't rewatch anything.
Yeah, it was all new for me.
So yeah, my first time. How many movies, how many films did you guys watch in preparation for this draft?
I only watched 6, 5 of which were today, starting at about 8 a.m. Eastern.
So Tom Hanks-a-thon. Holy smokes.
Absolutely grinding. Shout out to Pluto TV for providing a lot of the content.
Hell yeah, Pluto. If you want to sponsor us, feel free.
Shout out Pluto.
Pluto fans.
Yeah, sorry.
We love you.
No free ads.
No free ads.
I feel glad that I only watched one, but it's one that I'm hoping to play today. So I'm happy with my success rate.
And it was a new watch.
New watch.
Wow, 1 for 1. That's always tough, especially in situations like this when someone has such a large filmography and we're only going to be drafting 11 films.
Yeah.
Is like, which ones are like an 85% positive, coin flip here? Like, what are what are you actually going to play at the end of the day? Man, okay, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be fascinating.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah, please do. Please go ahead.
Are we limiting this to his acting roles?
I would say so. Are you looking to get a producer cred in here?
Maybe,
Brad Pitt
maybe
style?
a director cred. I don't know. I just didn't know. You know, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. Maybe I want to get that on the list. You never know. I'm fine to stick to actor. I just want to make sure.
I think we should stick to actor.
Okay, cool.
This is a great question, though. This is an unexplored question of collaborative drafts of the past.
Yeah.
Do you think we should change for the future?
I mean, it's something to think about, but I mean, that opens up.
This guy's got 165 creds if you add all the other roles into it. That's a lot to wade through. And I feel like we're already pushing up.
We got a lot.
It probably depends on the person.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, I see. You trying to get that exec producer cred for Mamma Mia? That's where you want to go?
Hey,
I know that's where you want to go.
I've seen it now.
Letterboxd lists something for Borat for him, and I can't remember I can't remember his contribution for that. But
I never saw the second one. Yeah, I don't know.
Also a producer on the Ant Bully. I think we should do that. I think the Ant Bully should be number 1.
Lock it in.
Producer cred. No, I say we stick to acting credits. Okay. I think that's how I prepared for this draft. I think it's how most of us prepared. But I do think we should bring forth that in the Holy Trinity on a future pod and see if we should maybe explore.
For the record, what I would play is Where the Wild Things Are. He produced that, and I think it's a great film. So, but we'll leave it off. We'll have something else. But consider that the 12th spot, listeners, Where the Wild Things Are.
Yep. No one can veto that one.
Yeah.
Locked in. Okay, Tom Hanks has been nominated for 6 Oscars. He has won 2 Academy Awards for Forrest Gump and Philadelphia. Does that mean those movies have to be near the top, guys? Just a little feeler for how we might tread this. Because, you know, the age-old question for a collaborative draft, is it the interest of the people? Or is it more in the vein of a Mount Rushmore? Are we playing personal favorites? How do we want to navigate this?
I'd argue that both those movies don't have to end up on the list at all.
I love to hear the boldness.
Yeah.
I'd
say.
My man.
I'd say that there are some actors that their Oscar wins definitely need to be up there, but this is not a case where I feel strongly about that, I would say.
Huh. This is interesting. This might go more in line with the energy that I'm bringing. Nominated for supporting role in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Nominated for Castaway, of course. Nominated for Saving Private Ryan. He won, like I said, for Forrest Gump and Philadelphia. And then he was nominated for actor in Big as well. So the dude's got 31 years spanning across his first and his last Academy Award nomination.
That's crazy.
That's insane. I don't think he'll get another one, at least at this point in time. My dude's taking an Apple paycheck. So
here just dropped. I don't know if you saw that one.
Not sure if you caught that one yet.
What if Tarantino puts him in the movie? Like, what if we get Tom Hanks?
Interesting.
It's not necessarily like a John Travolta resurgence. Like Tom Hanks is still around, but like, let's get him in kind of a fucked up role. Like, let's.
You want him in Quentin's 10th movie?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't think I want to. If Quentin's going to hold to this, I don't think I want to waste it on. No offense to Tom Hanks, but
I don't mean like in a leading role. I just mean like in
Tom. Tom heard
toss
that.
Him in there.
He took a lot of offense.
Let's get it.
That could be fascinating.
If he's just tossed in there, that's fine. Are you surprised that he doesn't have more wins or nominations, considering like how much people love him?
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he has 6 nominations. To be honest with you. I'm so surprised. I'm like, this guy's probably been nominated once and won once, right? For Forrest Gump. Wrong. 6.
Interesting.
But hey,
I think these nominations, for the most part, the majority of them are solid.
Really?
But yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. The onion just keeps peeling back little by little. We haven't even started the draft yet. This is exactly what I hope for on every episode, just to kind of wade the waters here before we get too deep.
I'm excited, dude. I'm ready.
I'm excited. I think we all said in our group chat that this is probably going to be a bloodbath. And you know what? I think that's a fair assessment. I need a certain spot on this list. And if I don't get it, I can tell you right now, people will not be happy with the list that we produce. Wow. So it might be in your guys' best interest to give me what I want. I'm putting up.
Wow. Everything rests on your shoulders. Love it. Love the attitude there. Love the
100%. But look, Ben knows what's possible. I can tell.
Yeah.
I've got takes, and to be honest, Tom Hanks might be the actor that I've got some of the most interesting takes. We'll just put it nicely.
That's what I can't tell. It's like, should you get like the least amount of picks that are higher up?
Maybe.
Or do I just give you like most of the low ones so you can get those out of the way? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly depends. This is going to be an interesting draft. Okay, let's get into the rules. Let's spin for our draft places. Of course, this is a collaborative draft. So whether the strategy is to go for the personal win, to get the things you want on the board, or to work together collaboratively, which is technically the name of the draft, yet we seem to never abide by the rules that we have set forth here on this wonderful podcast. There's only one team standing at the end of this, a collaborative board, essentially ranking 11 Tom Hanks movies. Now, this is interesting because on the A24 Horror Collab Draft, we had a fascinating conversation that Marta brought forth. Is it the best? Is that what we are here to do today? Is rank the 11 best Tom Hanks? What do you guys feel about that?
The 11 most Tom Hanks. That's what I'm going for.
The 11
like
most.
When I think about Tom Hanks, these are the 11 I'm going to think about.
Oh.
It may not be his best performances. He may not be like the leading role in them, but it's Tom Hanks for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Are we trying to? You think you're going more performance? I guess you're going more movie based than performance based, but or maybe association with him.
Ben's a movie guy. He doesn't care. Yeah, I would go in the same vein. I think you're right, Ben. I think that's the right way to play the Tom Hanks draft, is to go on the Tom Hanks vibe and just be like, yeah, Tom Hanks, he's in this movie, and that's what I think of when I think of Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
As always with the collaborative drafts, a special shout out to Screen Drafts, a wonderful podcast that has influenced the layout of this draft. Go check them out if you haven't. Let's explain the picks and the abilities. Ben, would you do me the honor?
Would love to. 3 draft positions. This works in a snake style. Well, I guess not. No, that's a regular draft. 3 draft positions.
Do you know how to draft? I think is the biggest question on this pod right now.
This is pure vodka in here right now, so I have no idea what's happening. Drafter A will get picks 1, 4, and 7. Drafter B will get picks 2, 5, 8, and 9. Drafter C gets 3, 6, 10, and 11. So Drafter A, because they have the least amount of picks, they are going to get 2 vetoes that they can use. Drafter B will have 1 veto, and Drafter C will have 1 veto and 1 veto override. The only stipulation with the veto override is you can't use it on your own pick. You have to use it to help somebody else. So if Ethan does try to play Toy Story 2 at number 1 and I veto it, the camera's like, actually, that is the best Toy Story. I'm going to veto override it. It gets rid of my veto. The movie stays and it's locked in. So those are the draft positions and the abilities.
Thank you, Ben. I'm just looking through the filmography, and based on our previous conversation on the post, I'm a little worried, and I think I'm spiraling already, and I don't really think this draft warrants it.
Have either of you made like, I have like a top 11 list locked in. Do either of you have that, or are you just kind of like, because sometimes I do like Group A, Group B, Group C. I hope my Group A gets in, but for some reason with this one, I made a top 11. Like I've got it locked in, and I'm curious how much of that I'm going to get in.
I just ranked all of the ones that I have seen. So I've got top X amount of, not revealing how many or little I've seen, but
interesting. Interesting private information. Well, I was going to say I will reveal. I've seen 20 Tom Hanks movies. Okay. So I feel adequately prepared since we're doing 11. I've seen almost double. I was worried that I wasn't even going to have 11. But Toy Story takes care of 4 of that. So that was big. That was a huge help.
20%
on that
of
front.
your list is Toy Story.
I have them ranked. I have a private list going on. If I stick to that list, probably not. Looking at it, I think I messed up already. So I think that we are in for a very fun time. Ben, why don't you get the spinner out? Why don't we do a little spin for position here?
Let's do that. Let me find
now. Whoever the spinner does land on gets to choose which position that they would like to be.
Yes. So be thinking about that, Cam. If you get the first one, which spot you want to be. But let's figure that out.
All lowercase today on the spinner.
All lowercase.
All lowercase.
Love it.
I really don't want it. Okay, good.
Go, spin. No, damn it.
Picking first.
This is tough because coming in, I feel like I had an idea of what I wanted, and now our conversation has made me think that I don't need the things that I thought I needed and wanted. So now I don't know what to do.
Well, think about it. We'll spin and see who gets the second pick. I'll give you some time to make it even harder for you. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Oh, God damn it. Are you serious? I'm the only one that was like, I gotta have this. And then the spinner says no. Wow.
Okay.
Oh, this board might just be really out of control.
It might be.
Let's see. I think I might go with. I think I'm going to go with drafter A. Get the extra veto.
Whoa! Wow. That is a move. I didn't see that coming.
Move. I like it.
I didn't see that coming. Wow. Okay. Cameron, go with picks 1, 4, and 7. You're gonna have the 2 vetoes, the double veto. So you're a little defensive play here. A little bit worried, huh?
Yeah, not worried. I just take after. Tom Hanks is a great actor, but Tim Banks, University of Tennessee defensive coordinator, is a great coach. So just taking after my guy Tim.
I like it.
I respect that. Yeah, come in with a plan for sure. Ben,
I have a hard time resisting that override. You know, I like having that on there.
Yeah, but you got to be honest with yourself. How many times has the override come into play in a critical moment in time?
Unfortunately,
maybe
not
like
enough.
once.
Yeah, not enough.
Like literally, almost
today
never.
Could be the day, though. You never know.
Well,
you know what, Cam? You're right. Let's do it.
Fuck, damn it, Cameron!
Drafter C.
What the hell, man? I had him on the ropes.
I don't know what you want.
I was raging bowling that thing, man. I had him. Shoot. Well, what could have been? God, I got literally the worst. The only one I didn't want. I didn't want the B spot. That's crazy bad.
Okay. I genuinely had no idea what I wanted, but it's the extra ability for me. I'm like, I just have to take it. So once he took A, I was like, okay, fine, I'll take C then. Like, although I honestly would rather have your pick C than, to be completely honest. I just wanted that override. I wanted the override.
We could have struck an under the table deal, man. We could have come up with something.
Okay, text me what you want for 10 and 11. And then
I'll absolutely. If you could just vamp for like the next 60 seconds, take the pot over while Ben and I figure this out.
Yeah.
This is a collaborative draft. So if you want to play that route, you guys know, listeners know, I'm more than happy to work together as a team. It's just is never offered to me.
Maybe unity is what the people need in this country after recent events, you know?
It's true.
Maybe Tom Hanks can bring us together as a nation.
I need all to come together.
Ben, why don't you kick off the draft? Number 11.
Number 11. We're going back to one of my early VHSs that I talked about growing up with. This is a wild movie. I honestly haven't watched this in like 2 decades, but I remember loving it so much. And, you know, sometimes they do these films where I think especially like in the 80s and stuff. And it was like, let's pair an actor with an animal and like, let's see how they do together. So we're going with Turner and Hooch.
Why?
Because I love this movie. This movie's so good. We just get fun physical comedy of a big ass dog and someone reacting to it. What's better in a movie than that, you know? I honestly don't know what else to say about it. He's a cop. Let me read the tagline for you.
He's a cop in this movie? What?
A detective must adopt a rambunctious dog in order to help him find a killer.
Oh my God. Okay, we've got that is. If you read that to me, I would not have been like Turner and Hooch. I would have been like, that's Al Pacino and his pit bull.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the same. So yeah, I don't know. Okay. I remember just really loving this movie. A lot of physical comedy, a lot of crazy hijinks going on. And I think we should have kind of an early Tom Hanks on here. This is 89. So this is like post Big in the Burbs, but like this is before we get to the serious stuff, you know, Sleepless in Seattle and Philadelphia. So I think this still kind of qualifies for that early Hanks. And this is what I have at my 11 spot. So this is what I'm playing at my 11 spot.
Okay. Turner and Hooch. Cameron, have you seen Turner and Hooch?
I haven't. I'll be honest. It didn't even cross my mind to try and watch for this for preparation for this. But maybe it should have. Maybe it should have.
Cameron, no. You don't have to take Ben's world and live in it. You can just hold firm. You know, I don't think anybody was like, yeah, I got to watch Turner Hooch for this pod.
Maybe they should. If I inspire one person, and I think that person might be me, but if I inspire one person to watch this movie, then that's a successful.
Yeah, you're inspiring yourself to catch up on something from 20
exactly.
years ago.
Yeah, I need to watch that again. And maybe I'll regret this choice, but for now, I'm happy with it. Stay tuned on my letterbox. I'll let you know what I think about it.
I'll be glued to the screen waiting.
Yeah, I'll be waiting awaiting the notification. Wow. Okay. I mean, not a movie for me. I'll say that. I don't really care, and I'm never going to watch this film. Nothing against Tom Hanks. I just, You
hate animals, though. You know that.
I hate animals. I hate animation. I hate anything that starts with the letter A and I. A and I M. Wow. That's a pick. That's a pick that you just did there. And
kicking it off.
Is wild.
Had I known you wanted the spot, maybe I would have given it to you, but you kept it secret.
If I had this spot, if I had the 11 and the 10, and you had the 9 and the 8, would you put Turner Hooch at 9?
No.
Oh, damn.
I told you it was at my 11. That's why I played it.
Man, we could have started with a good board. Too bad. Okay, well,
could have done it.
What could have been? Nation's in disrepair anyway. What does it matter if we get this right?
Nothing matters anymore.
So true.
Here's the thing: is I like all of 11 of my movies, and I feel weird about playing any of them at 10. But this is a thing where I just don't know what you guys think about stuff. So
okay. Can we sidebar for a second, Ben?
Sure.
Not just you and I. Cameron, you can be part of this conversation too.
Yeah.
I'm here to
close your ears.
If you could just take off your headphones for a minute, that'd be great. Okay, so we've mentioned obviously there are 4 Toy Story movies.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at on this? Because obviously a Toy Story movie should probably be on this board.
Yeah.
Are you like, Ben, you have me, I'm worried about what your choices might be down the road of like, let's put 3 Toy Story movies on the board. I need to know what my options are down the road.
I have one on my list. I have one Toy Story movie on my list that I think represents the franchise the best. That's what I have. So I'm curious what you guys have on yours, but I just have one from the franchise on here.
Okay. That would be the Toy Story Terror. Is that correct? The Toy Story of Terror? Okay, good.
Exactly.
Just want to make sure we're aligned.
You got it. You nailed it.
I discovered that those existed by looking through Tom Hanks' filmography this week. I didn't even know those specials were real and existed. So, but not part of my preparation. But Toy Story, there should definitely be one on here to represent.
Yeah.
Okay, good. No, that's okay. I just wanted to know what the free spaces are looking like down the road.
Gotcha.
You know?
Okay.
That's all. Thank you for entertaining my provocative question of one of the most beloved animated franchises of all time.
By some, yeah.
All right, number 10. Here we go. With apologies to our friend, I hope I'm remembering this correctly, but our buddy Brian Sudfield, I am playing Catch Me If You Can at number 10.
Well done. I commend you, sir.
Wow. Okay. I genuinely love this movie, but this is a Leo vehicle for me. But Tom is great in it. He plays alongside him perfectly, helps us like go through the story here and move us along from place to place. I just think of this as a Leo movie, but it just wouldn't be the same without Tom Hanks. So it deserves to be on the list. I just don't want it super high necessarily. So that's why I'm playing it here at 10. I think this is a great film, but it's just not the most Tom Hanks for me. So that's why I've got it down here.
It's making me nervous that Cameron is shaking his head.
I know.
Slightly.
I don't know what to think.
We have dealt with this before with Brian, of course. We have had our Steven Spielberg draft. We have talked about at least my personal opinions on Catch Me If You Can. Far overrated movie.
I would not go that far at all.
I wouldn't go that far, but I do agree that it's more of a Leo situation. Like, I don't think of Tom Hanks when I think of Catch Me If You Can necessarily, or I don't think of Catch Me If You Can when I think of Tom Hanks either.
Gotcha. Yeah,
it's not in the top 15 probably of movies I associate with him.
So are you vetoing it though? Like, do you dislike the pick, or are you good with it?
I'm good with it here. Okay, that's fine with me. Wow. Yeah.
Sweet.
Wow. I mean, for me, this is really an Amy Adams vehicle. When I think of Catch Me If You Can, I'm like, man, Amy Adams. She really drove that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing it.
Raced up Amy Adams.
Incredible work. Okay. Wow. What a fascinating two that we have here on the board. Just truly electric.
I love the bottom part. It's the best.
Catch Me If You Can. Yeah. I don't know if people are going to be very happy about that at number 10. But I think you're right, Ben. Like that's not a Tom Hanks vehicle. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not for
me. He's great in it.
He's very good.
I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 100% a Leo movie. And
sure.
and of course an Amy Adams film. Okay. I have 2 picks. Let's go to the ranking. What are we at? We're at 9. Huh. This is interesting.
Yeah, how's it sitting?
Very interesting. I don't even know where I'm going to go. I got to figure it out right now on the spot.
Really? Okay.
Do you both have like a locked in 9? Something that you think should be low on the board like this for Tom?
For me, I'm honestly just locked into my next 2 picks that I know what I'm going to play. And I'm just curious if either of you guys are going to play it to open up for something else. Because I have 2 that I'm not going to talk about them too much, but I just don't know that they would make everybody's list, but they're going to make mine, hopefully. Ours.
Okay. I have a film, and this film is real. This is a movie that I get great joy out of watching this movie. I think it is really magnificent. I got to be honest with you guys. I think I'm the only person in the world that likes this movie. And
you're gonna play it?
Huh?
You're gonna play it?
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I gotta play. If I don't play it here, it doesn't end up on the board. And
that's okay.
I can't. No way. I have to work through potentially 3 vetoes here. I mean, I've got an agenda that I have to hold to. So
God.
At number 9, I'm going to be playing what I would have put at 11 if someone had just been like, "Hey, Ethan, you want that 11 spot?" I'm going to be playing The Polar Express, a movie that I think Tom Hanks is sensational in. He voices like 7 different people, guys. He's putting in the fucking work for Zemeckis in an animation forward, just a journey. I think The Polar Express is fair to be called a journey. I love this movie. And I don't care who knows it.
I unfortunately know it. I knew this was coming, unfortunately. And because you have the 8 spot, I'm not blowing a veto on this. At least you played it at 9. I was worried you were playing it higher, to be honest.
It's the perfect spot to play it because I have the fear of the 8 spot glaring you down.
What's the best Tom Hanks Zemeckis collab?
It's the Polar Express.
Is it? Is that sad?
Look at their tags. I mean, they have made not great movies. I got to be honest with you guys.
They made Forrest Gump. They made Castaway, Polar Express,
banger.
Here.
They made Here. That's true.
And Pinocchio. Don't forget about Pinocchio.
God. I forgot about that.
Is that the Disney Plus thing?
Yeah, I think it was the Disney live action where he was Geppetto.
Wow. Is that everything that they've made together?
Yeah, I mean, looking at Zemeckis directing, and that's all I see.
It is 1,000,000% the Polar Express, guys. It's unreal how clear that is out of that decision.
Do you not feel like you're on the outs of everyone else on Castaway? Like,
I'm just trying to steer history towards the right path. You know?
Do you think that's on the Polar Express? Like, everyone get on the train.
I am on the Polar Express right now on the ice, and the back of the train is just slipping and sliding, and I'm trying to get us back on the path to the North Pole.
All right. Well,
that movie, I just want to say, for people my age, I don't know how old you all are, but that movie creeped us out. Not good vibes. Playing that in the church gymnasium. I'll say that.
That movie would freak a blind person out. Like,
that's so
that
true.
movie's so weird. Like, there's no one watches that. Just like, yeah, this is awesome.
I
don't know. I'm just shocked. I'm amazed, but okay. It's on the list unless I would advise you not to because he's just going to play it later.
No,
let's
I
just
know,
let him have it. But
that's the thing with these first 4 picks.
You have 2 vetoes though, Cameron. You can if you veto me now and I go to play it at 8, you've got another veto. So you essentially take it all the way up to 2. Really, is how things could go.
And you would do that, and I know that. I think so.
You want to know why I would do that? Because I attribute what I have learned here in the strategy of the draft to a wonderful person named Sophie Holsinger. She did this, and if not for her insurrectionist movement a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have ever thought to play this dirty. But here we are.
The Midsommar technique.
And
yeah, she should trademark that.
And that's why it'll sit where it is, and that's okay. I gotta sit with it.
It's a huge fucking win. Wow. The Polar Express above Catch Me If You Can is deranged.
I mean, you're telling me you're the one that played it. That's wild. I can't believe it.
That's out of control. It's out of control.
It really is.
Wow. Okay. How many more picks do I have? What needs to go at number 2? What needs to go at number 5? Wow, this is very difficult when you don't have a read on what other people want.
Yeah, it's wild.
Cameron, you haven't given me anything. What are you?
He's stone cold.
Like, what are you potentially picking for 7? So I can just, create equilibrium here on the team.
I've got a number of things that could fall into that spot, I would say.
Okay.
All with I would say they're more in the serious vein.
Okay.
If that helps you at all, but not that I need to. But
so not the money pit.
Definitely not the money pit.
Okay. All right.
Cool. Spending a lot of money. We just bought a house. That is pretty serious, I would say.
Yeah, it's true.
A real deal.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know the tone. But
you know what else is serious? Is being the manager of Elvis. That's pretty serious. So
yeah.
Maybe he's playing that.
This is a great time to to put forth recognition for Tom Hanks and his obsession with Elvis. I don't know if you guys caught this when you're going through some of his films. Almost every single role that he is in, at least a lot of the big ones, there is some connection to Elvis. Did you guys notice this going through his filmography?
I noticed it in Castaway today. He gives the kid, the little Russian boy, a CD player with Elvis.
Yes.
I noticed that, but that's the only one I picked up on elsewhere.
So there's Elvis, of course. There is, of course, Elvis, the real Elvis. And if I remember correctly, there's something with That Thing You Do, of course, because it is in the music vein. And then there is a movie that I watched that is connected to Elvis. Had to be Forrest Gump. Had to be. There's another one where I was just like,
it's definitely Forrest Gump because
it was
when he's younger, Elvis teaches him how to.
Oh, right.
Dance.
Yes. Elvis teaches him how to dance.
He's like
exactly.
staying in the house.
And I remember I got to like the 4th or 5th incident of Elvis being tied to Tom Hanks. And I was like, this guy just finds a way to work in Elvis any chance that he can get. It's remarkable.
And then he finally got to manage him. It's crazy. Before this next pick, something else I'll say I noticed. That guy loves Gary Sinise. He is in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Gary Sinise is in this too. That's crazy.
So, loves Gary
I'm like
Sinise.
5 times today. It was amazing. Good for him. Steady work is good.
Yeah, Tom Hanks definitely gets steady work. There's no question about that. Okay. Huh. This could be either a very responsible pick or a very irresponsible pick. But, I've got nothing to lose at this point in time. So for my number 8, am I at number 8, right? Yeah. For my number 8 pick, I'm going to go with a movie that I desperately wanted to rewatch for this pod. Something that I actually saw in theaters when it came out. I distinctly recall seeing this film. I just didn't have the time. And it's a lengthy flick. And so it did require a little bit of commitment. I'm going to be playing a movie in which I think Tom Hanks is at his weirdest, for sure. And that would be the 2-hour and 52-minute Wachowski sisters masterpiece of Cloud Atlas. I love Cloud Atlas. Haven't seen it in 10 years. I think it's fucking awesome. I rewatched the scene in which Tom Hanks plays a very fat manager, I believe, of a publisher, and he has a very thick Irish accent, and he throws someone off the roof of a building. It's it's incredible stuff. And it is so anti-classic Tom Hanks that I think it has to be on this list.
I should have given you 10 and 11. These are awful. These are awful.
I have not seen Cloud Atlas. So.
You know what, Cameron? No one has seen Cloud Atlas.
That's
no way,
should not
guys.
be on this list. But here it is. Cloud
You guys
Atlas.
had, literally between you two, you have 3 vetoes. I just want you to know that.
Yeah,
you can do anything. You guys can mold this board.
But if we know you're trying to get them out of us, that's different.
No, I'm not necessarily trying to get a veto out of you. If by chance you were to veto Cloud Atlas, there's no way in hell that I'd be playing it at 5 or 2. At least at this point in time. I could go back on that. Anything's possible. But I think once you get to 6, like there's some things that have to be on this list. So I'm trying to use my wiggle room here to have a little bit of fun.
As Art Howell says in Moneyball, I need to make decisions that will make sense to people when I interview for jobs next year. So I'm going to have to veto this one.
Okay. I dig it.
Let's get that out of here. Hopefully we can appease Brother Ethan enough to where it doesn't have to show up again.
Cameron gets on base. That's what he does, and I love it. Yeah.
This is the epitome of what I don't like about Tom Hanks' career, is that when he makes a really bold acting choice, people are like, no, you got to go back. You got to be Tom Hanks. And I say, no, give me more weird stuff. Be someone in the future that has an Irish accent.
Be a train conductor. be something weird.
Thank you. Be a train conductor. That's the only person that can get to the North Pole.
Be someone in the past who's severely de-aged with technology, you know?
Yeah.
That's a bold.
I'm trying to put that up on the list, Cam. I'm trying to get that high. Okay?
I'm sure you are.
I'm trying to get that up there.
This list is going to be a nightmare.
Where are you at on here, Ben? Did you watch it yet? Have you seen it?
No. Why would I see that?
I literally scheduled the recording of this show after the opening weekend of Here so we could all see it.
I don't know. I didn't ask you to do that. There's no way. What's the last good Zemeckis movie? What's the
Polar Express!
I mean, even if that's true, that's in 2004. It's been 20 years since he made a good movie. So, no, I'm not rushing to go see Here.
Where are you at on that movie, Cameron?
The olds were out in droves at my 2:00 Friday screening. Yeah.
Wow.
I would say that the screen that I was at was discolored, and so I was pretty pissed about that. I know that this is the same screen I saw Dune 2 for the 3rd time in with my father, and I was very sad that that's how he had to see it, and they haven't fixed it. So anyway, that has nothing to do.
You should publicly shame that theater right now, right here.
Oh yeah,
no free ads.
This is the second podcast in 3 days that I'm going to be talking about them. Regal North Hills Theater number 10. Fix that shit. Please.
Fix it, Regal.
And go back to Coca-Cola, please. But that's the more important issue at hand.
Yeah, it is.
But no, I mean, Here it exists, and that's good for it, I would say.
Okay, well, you guys have me worried because I have Here. I got to be honest. I got to speak my truth. I have Here pretty far up on my personal board, so I'm going to be playing Here. I'm going to be playing it in my number 8 spot because I'm worried that it won't get played. I like this movie. I actually think I don't know if it's a good movie, but it's an effective movie, and I like it. And I like what Tom Hanks does. I guess kind of. I don't know. I honestly not sure if it's a good movie, but I liked it, so I'm going to put it at 8.
Have you?
Is that better or worse than Cloud Atlas? I
don't know if you've gone to his IMDb and looked at the other stuff he's in. Like, I can't believe you think that there aren't 8 great movies that he's been in.
I've got my list.
I just don't know that you did the research. Like, this is crazy to me. We're bumping off some great movies for almost Cloud Atlas, but for Polar Express and Here. A double back-to-back Zemeckis, you feel good about this?
No, not at all. Now that you mention it like that, not at all. But you know what? I had to pull the back-to-back Zemeckis. I saw Here on Saturday night, and I watched Castaway last night. And I looked over to Molly, and I was like, my life sucks. This is terrible.
We watched a different movie then. Castaway is an amazing performance, but I can't believe you're playing Here. Well,
I don't have to. Whatever. I mean, you guys, you've got a veto, Ben. You talk as if you don't have a veto.
I'm not using it.
Where are you going to use it? You can use it in number 2 spot? Like, get out of here.
here belongs at like number 20. Like the fact that it's at number 8 for you, I have no idea what's at number 5 for you. I have no idea what's at number 2 for you.
It's true.
I'm holding on to this veto for that reason.
An insurance veto.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cameron, you gonna veto me? You could do it. You could do the double veto. It's been done before, and I can take it.
I feel like I need it for the back half here.
It's a good call.
Am I scaring you guys?
You're frustrating me. You're not scaring me.
Yeah. I'm not scared. I'm just where is this going to end up? It'll be great.
A lot of questions. Like I said, by the time that this pod comes out, I will have my review of Here up on my YouTube channel. So if you want my thoughts on Here, you can go check out that video. I think it's a really effective script, and I think Zemeckis and Eric Roth actually are able to like create something special out of that. I don't know. I had a good time.
I'm very happy for you. I think that's great.
I feel like listeners are probably just shutting off this podcast right now. They're just they're like, I'm not listening to the top 7. This is out of control.
It can only get better. If people think it's bad, it can only get better.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Stick with us. Let's see what Cameron does first before you leave.
It can get worse. Let me tell you, it can get worse.
I'm just trying to do some math here on what everybody's still got out there in terms of powers, abilities, things of that nature.
I have a veto, don't I? I have one veto.
You have one veto. You have one veto. Yes.
Should have pulled Turner and Hooch off the board.
It could have ended up higher. Who knows? Let's see. So many movies. Less movies I have actually seen, but he's in a lot. Let's see where this hits with the fellas. I'm at, what is this, number 7? Number 7. Let's go. Toy Story 1.
Yes. Good fucking call. I love it.
What the hell, Ben? You know, that's so rude. It's so mean and hurtful.
That's the right Toy Story for this list. I'll let Cameron speak on it, but that's the one I had on my list. That's correct.
No, I think that this one has the maybe not the most Hanks, but it's Hanks forward for sure. Mm-hmm. And it needs to be on the list. I personally don't think that it needs to be super high on the list, so it's fine to sit somewhere closer to the middle for me. And this is my first pick, so get it in there, and we have our representation, and we can move forward with our lives.
I realized in preparing for this draft, Tom Hanks is the Robert Downey Jr. of Pixar. That he's the reason Pixar is so successful, and it's because of this movie, and that's why it needs to be on here. I think it's a wonderful pick. There might be a better Toy Story movie, but I think this is the one that needs to represent the franchise, and Tom Hanks on here. Because if this movie flops, like, what happens to Pixar? And he's a huge part of the success of this film. Groundbreaking animation, amazing voice work. It needs to be on here. Yeah,
if he hadn't done this, he wouldn't also be in Cars, apparently, which I also saw was he's credited as being in Cars.
Oh, I didn't know that.
as a Woody car, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yes, that's what it is.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that we have found our Toy Story for this list.
Are you?
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, actually I am. I understand.
Take some pressure off.
It does. It makes me feel better about the top 6 for sure. Take some pressure off of where we're headed next. Like you said, Cameron, we can now move on with our lives. We've represented Toy Story.
Yeah, we've righted the ship with some actually good movies, and moving forward.
I didn't say that. I won't admit to that. I think we unfortunately hit a headwind here, but it's okay. We can get back on path. The train can get back on the tracks, so to speak. I like Toy Story 2 better. That's all I'll say about that. You guys know that, though. At least you know that, Ben.
Yeah, everyone knows it now. We all know. It's not a bad movie. It's just not Toy Story.
Yeah, I think if there's a different list or a different draft, I might pick that one. So they're very interchangeable, those first two for me.
Stay tuned for our Joan Cusack draft. Then Toy Story 2 will show up.
Let's go. Finally.
Can't wait.
Let's make it happen. Or Kelsey Grammer draft. then you get whatever his name is.
Hey, man, Joan Cusack. Number 1 would be Toy Story 2. Number 2, the end of the tour. Come on, she's in that for like 4 seconds.
True.
Great.
School of Rock, somewhere in there.
School of Rock? Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
No, I actually think you guys chose the right Toy Story. I think this is the right way to do it. Exactly what you said, Ben. If this doesn't work, what is Pixar? So, interesting. Okay, so we have 6 spots left. Here's the thing. Can I just do a check-in with you guys real fast?
Let's do it.
Because
we're at the halfway point.
We're at the halfway point, and this is where we're sitting right now. No Forrest Gump, no Castaway, no Sleepless in Seattle, no You've Got Mail, no Saving Private Ryan. Some big titles out there. Not necessarily for me, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, no Apollo 13. There's some big titles out there.
Half the ones you just mentioned aren't even on my short list.
Oh, okay. I feel a little
for
better.
Me,
I feel a little better.
I'm doing okay. We still got 6 spots.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what happens.
Okay. I want to circle back to that question of what's the biggest movie that we leave off that people are going to be pissed about.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's me, right? 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Tom
swear to
Hanks.
God, if you play Elvis, I'm going to be so fucking mad.
Tom Hanks, as an actor, as a writer, as a producer, as a director. I mean, wearing all 4 caps here. I got to make sure it's on the list. Ethan's happy with it. We got fireworks.
Clearly.
Wow. I will clip that. That's what happened. Fireworks went off in my recording shed.
It's that thing you do. I want to play it here at 6. This might be a lot higher on my personal list, but this is the first I've heard that Ethan likes it, and I don't know how Cameron feels about it. So I just needed to be safe and play here to make sure it got on the list. One of the best songs to come from a movie ever. The Oneaters are fantastic. Tom Hanks is great in this. Again, it's a little bit more of a supporting role, but again, as someone who's writing, directing, producing, he's doing everything with this film. This is his debut film. I'm pretty sure this is his directorial debut. So maybe we'll be talking about this in a little while, on another episode, who knows? But, yeah, I think this movie is fantastic. I love Liv Tyler, and this movie is just I don't know. To me, it's basically perfect. So I needed it on this list. That scene where the radio plays the song for the first time and everyone's running to the store and shit, it doesn't get better than that. The euphoria they all feel and just how excited everyone is. It's amazing. It's a wonderful, wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. But yeah, That Thing You Do, number 6.
That's one I didn't get to catch up on, so I don't have much to say there. But now, it's definitely one that I wanted to fit in, and certain movies are really long, So
yeah,
couldn't get in there.
Yeah. I highly recommend that you check this one out, Cameron. I knew that Ben was going to play this on this list, and so I had to check this movie out, and I am so glad that I did. I love this movie, Ben. I think this is
I'm happy to hear that.
Excellent movie. Steve Zahn is just batting a fucking 1,000 in this
He's
movie.
So
it's
good
unreal.
Yeah,
it is so unreal how good he is in this movie. Like you said, I think there is something special captured in this movie that Tom Hanks is able to do from a writing and a directive standpoint. The lead of this movie, the guy who plays Guy Patterson,
yeah,
he is also Shades. He is also Mia's husband in La La Land, and I love that little weird connection where it's in this movie he is obsessed with jazz, and then in La La Land he goes to see Seb at Seb's, right? And has this affinity kind of in part with jazz. I think that's really interesting. I think this is kind of a great movie, and I love that you put it at 6. Perfect spot.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah. Charlize Theron, Giovanna Ribisi, it's a fun cast all the way through. Yeah.
Too bad Ribisi gets cut out of this movie so early, honestly.
Yeah.
Tough beat. Okay, this is a good movie. Really well done, Ben.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, it really puts the weight back on me now, doesn't it? I got the 5. Cameron, Ben. Then I got 2 and Cameron's got 1. I just genuinely don't know what the top 3 are looking like.
Yeah.
And so it does bring forth a sense of fear, because if I don't fight for my life now, You could just not end up on the board. Dang.
I'm playing my heart at 3. Just FYI.
God. Okay, so 1 is shot. That's 3. The 3 spot is gone. So we really have 4 spots left on this.
Hereditary at 3. Yeah.
What does that mean? You're playing your heart.
I'm playing something that I don't think most people would consider one of his top 3 films, but I do, and that's what I'm going to be playing.
Oh my God.
I'm not playing like the objective top 3 Tom Hanks.
Okay. Well, I have a movie that I have to play at 2 that I need to be that high on the board. So 3, I would assume you're not talking about Saving Private Ryan. Where are we at on Saving Private Ryan? Does it have to make this list?
I mean, are we going to give our hands here? Like,
it's called the collaborative draft, Ben. I'm just trying to figure out where we're at as a team so I can play what I want at 5.
I feel like it does. I think it needs to be on this list. I think it's a great Hanks performance in a wonderful film.
Yeah, I think it's got to be on here at some point.
Do you, Cameron? You do think that? Well, good thing you're the only person with 2 picks left, so you can burn one on Saving Private Ryan.
Burn one on Saving Private Ryan?
No, you can use one in health on Saving Private Ryan.
Burn one on this piece of shit from Spielberg. Yeah. Who cares?
God, who gives a shit about that movie? Man, this really finds me in a tough spot. I'm gonna have to not play that movie that I really want to play. That I know people would be mad if I played. Okay, let's go in the 5 spot. I'm going to be playing. Man, I really like The Post. I'm worried The Post isn't going to make it. Ben, where are you at on The Post? Like, have you seen The Post?
I saw The Post in theaters, dude. I love The Post.
Wow, you might be okay. You might be an OG then. We might get off easy on that one. But then I might look back on the list and be like, man, I regret not playing The Post at 5 because that seems right.
You should regret both of your choices so far.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
The goal is
to regret
all 4.
I'm not putting The Post at 9 or 8. That's crazy. Come on. Be real.
It shouldn't be there at all.
Wow, why do you hate The Post so much, Cameron? What did The Post ever do to you?
Just boring.
Boring? I don't remember what they do, but I remember it's good.
Meryl Streep walked out there and got another Oscar nomination for absolutely nothing, like she does every time.
Amazing.
Wow, that is cruel. That is cruel. Okay, I'm gonna be playing in the 5 spot a movie that I liked a lot and that I think needs to be on this list. I'm gonna be playing Sleepless in Seattle at number 5. I really like this movie. And I think Tom Hanks as the really sad, lonely dad is great work from Tom Hanks. Not something we get a lot of from him. And, you know, we got to put Efron on the board. We got to get a Nora flick on here.
Is this the one, though? Like, is this the Tom Hanks Meg Ryan that needs to be on the list?
Well, I have the 2 spot as well.
I mean, that's wild, like, to do that for both.
Is it?
I think so.
Is it?
Is it though? I mean,
you
like
want both movies on the list.
But think about Tom Hanks. Like those you think about Sleepless in Seattle. That's for sure. Iconic poster, iconic movie.
Mid movie.
Oh,
I think.
Get out of here.
Definitely
get out.
If I veto this, will you play the other Meg Ryan Tom Hanks movie?
Here in the 5?
Not Joe versus Volcano, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Joe versus Volcano. I will not play it at the 5. No.
Okay.
I will play something else. That's fine. I was, I've been vamping for a long time and I don't feel 100% confident about this decision.
I just can't have both of them on the list. Like only one needs to be
Why,
there.
though? Why can't you have both? Are you anti Nora Ephron?
No, I'm very pro Nora Ephron, but like we need to represent his career and we don't need to do 2 rom-coms with Meg Ryan. Just like we don't need to have like 2 Toy Stories on here. Like,
okay.
I feel like one can represent the both of them. And I just don't feel like this is the one. I think
that's a fair take. I think that's fair.
I'm afraid of what you'll replace it with.
No, I'm not going to. Okay, do you want to game it out for a second? Because here's where I'm stuck. And I could use your advice.
Uh-huh.
I've got a handful of flicks that I'm trying to put on this board. of course, I've got the Post I mentioned. I like The Terminal, and I think The Terminal should go on this list. And Saving Private Ryan's got to go on here somewhere. Out of those, like, what's the best 5, right?
I mean, out of those, the only one that needs to be on the list is Saving Private Ryan.
Cameron, you're not gonna play Saving Private Ryan any higher, are you?
I could.
I'm worried that should be the number 1, though. Are you guys not worried that should be the number 1 Tom Hanks movie?
I mean, for me, like personally, yeah, I think that should be his number 1. I just don't know that it's going to be, especially if Cam's not that like high on it and he has the number 1 spot. Like maybe he'll play it at 4, but I think it should go here at 5. Like
Cameron, I have to give you a lot of credit. You are remaining remarkably stoic in
really
this draft, and it's really getting us nowhere.
It's pretty out of character for me. I'm a big oversharer typically, so well, maybe you can break me down. But no, I mean,
Ben, I think you're right. I think because we don't know where Cameron is headed, and I think it's important that Saving Private Ryan is on this list. But again, I like Sleepless in Seattle quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You have my oath, though. If you veto this, Sleepless in Seattle will not be making this list. Period.
From you, I don't know. Cam's got shifty eyes, so who knows? Sure, let's veto it. Why not?
Jesus. Why do you guys like vetoing me so much? Why is it always me?
I don't know. Picking the wrong
the way
stuff.
It's come down.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to play Saving Private Ryan here on this list. I think it of course needs to be on this list. I don't personally have it higher than 5 on my personal list.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is absolutely important to his career. It is a huge Tom Hanks vehicle, of course. It is him doing something that he's never done before in the height of his career and the height of a lot of people's careers. That really makes for like a cast-centric movie where it's just like a massive deal. I really like this movie. I do think it's important to have it on this list.
Nominated for 11 Oscars.
Jesus
1-5.
Christ.
It's pretty solid.
Nommed for 11 Oscars. We're going to pick 4 better movies than Saving
4 better movies than this.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Cameron, you still have a veto, so I don't know what you're planning over there, but...
No, I'm fine with it. It's higher than it is on my list, but I definitely don't want it. I don't need it any higher. That's for sure.
Gotcha.
Huh. Long flick. 169 minutes, guys.
Very long flick.
Whew.
Still not Oppenheimer time, but still pretty long.
Shout out my boy Tom Sizemore. I love him in this movie. He's so good. Okay.
I mean, this whole cast is pretty... This is an amazing cast. You mentioned it, but it's fantastic.
I mean, speaking of Giovanni Ribisi, we got him back in this one. He's
making it back.
Really good. Paul Giamatti's in this movie. I forgot.
Vin Diesel.
But isn't Paul Giamatti like stationed like halfway, right? He's like in charge of the squad that is like essentially getting obliterated and they have to go and meet him. I'd expect nothing less from Paul Giamatti's squad.
Harry Pepper, Damon a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. This is good. Okay. All right. I'm glad that my original pick was just the worst, and I'm glad we could right the ship, as you guys say.
All right. I guess it comes to me.
It's all you.
Yeah. Again, doing some math, running the advanced analytics provided to me by my brain.
I thought you were going to say Sophie's brain. I thought she was plugged in. I thought she was like listening to the pod live,
just
offline.
Chatting with her right now.
She's just. I've got my AirPod inside this other one. She's just chatting it up. Now let's see, 4 spot. Let's see what I've got in that range up here. Let's see. I'm gonna go with. Let's see. Here's what I think is his best performance.
Ooh.
At number 3? Okay. At number 4.
I think there are movies that I prefer to see higher just because it's best performance, not my favorite movie. But
sure.
I was deeply moved by watching this movie in high school. Did not rewatch it for this, but that's okay because it's vivid in the brain. But I can't believe he didn't get nominated for this. At least I'm pretty sure he didn't. We're gonna go with Captain Phillips.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
He's on a boat.
He's on the boat.
He's the captain.
Like the Lonely
the titular
Island.
Captain Phillips. I think so my thing for this is it's one of those where he's very Tom Hanks for most of it, but then Siri's talking to me, lovely. But he's very Tom Hanks for most of it, but then the end when he gets rescued, he just goes to another level. And I am not a very emotional person. That was one of the only movies that made me cry in high school, and so it's a deeply personal pick, I would say.
Okay. I did not watch Captain Phillips for this draft. I have not seen it, even though I understand the I am the captain now meme. I get it.
Yeah, you're up with the culture.
I'm up with the culture of 10 years ago. It needs to be on this list, huh? You just put it at the 4th spot, did you?
That's up to you.
How come you guys are like, oh, it's so awesome when Tom Hanks is the captain of a boat, and then when you're like, oh, he's the conductor of a train, that's terrible. Well, like, what's the difference, guys? Train arguably cooler than a boat.
Not creepy. That's the difference.
Back-to-back Zemeckis. Can't believe it.
You forced my hand.
Yeah,
Tom Hanks dilutes himself by playing so many roles in the Polar Express. That's the problem.
Oh, that's a terrible take. That's an absolutely atrocious take. Okay, Captain Phillips. Ben, have you seen this movie?
I have.
What do you think?
I don't know that I would have it this high, but I do think it's a really good Hanks performance. This is one that caught me by surprise. I kind of got dragged to this, and I ended up enjoying it more than I thought I would. So, yeah, I'm not like it wouldn't be this high for me, but to me, there are more Hanks movies that need to be on this list. But yeah, here it is.
Yeah, Ethan, you're the only one with a veto here.
It's true. It's true. I'm the only one with a veto. Here's the thing, though. If I play a veto, I'm worried that your personal attachment will take over, and this film will be number 1, and I can't stand for that. I can't.
Yeah, I definitely would not put this number 1.
Okay, well, that
I thought it would.
Seems like a pretty blatant lie, but okay, whatever you say, Cameron.
You can choose to trust me. You can choose whatever you want.
Okay, that's See, that's something a liar would say. That's something that a non-truth teller would say.
There's nothing I can say to convince you to do anything. So I swear on my life I would not put it. I don't think it deserves to be number 1. I just wanted it. Just wanted to get it some play, and if it sticks, it sticks. If not, life moves on.
No, I'm legitimately worried about Ben's 3 pick here. I think it could go wrong quickly. I'd like to hang on to that veto for the 3 and the 1. I feel like a little bit in control with that veto.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm happy you feel in control. I feel like Bane. Like, do you feel like you're in charge?
Do you feel like you're in charge? Yes, I do. Yeah. Shoot. Okay, Captain Phillips. No, I think that's good. I mean, I did a lot of research in terms of like lists and what a lot of people have said are the Tom Hanks performances to put high on the list. Captain Phillips always made, relatively high.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't argue it. I haven't seen it. Will I ever see it? Probably not. If I didn't see it preparing for this draft, I unfortunately will never see that film.
Yeah, but that's fair. I think it's his best movie in the last 15 years. So I think it's a good one to represent I think it's his best performance, but his best performance definitely since I'm trying to think of not since Castaway probably, but somewhere between that range.
I was going to say, it's fascinating that you chose 15 years and the Polar Express is right outside of that time range. I know you didn't want to tramp on that.
That's 20, so not right outside.
Not right outside. Okay, Captain Phillips sticks at number 4. Ben, you've got the 3. We are down to the top 3 in the Tom Hanks collab draft.
Yes, we are.
I have no clue what's going to happen.
I don't either if this is going to stay or not, but this to me, sometimes I've said on here that I play this funny enough with Castaway. I play this like Desert Island, like what movies would I take with me to rewatch? Is kind of how I like to play this sometimes. And this is definitely up there. This would probably be like the third movie I would take. If I had grabbed 3, it would be in the 3. I think it's a wonderful film. I think he has a fantastic supporting role in here, and it deserves to be on this list. I'm going with Penny Marshall's A League of Their Own.
Interesting.
Okay. We get all kinds of sides of Tom Hanks in this. We get goofy side, we get angry, we get serious. I think he really gets to show his range in this film, even though, Gina Davis is obviously, this is like her movie, and Lori Petty, it's kind of the two of them, but Tom Hanks is right there with them for most of this. And I think he does a great job. And this is one of those, this and That Thing You Do, or the movies I was talking about, like, may not be leading roles, but that's what I think about when I think of Tom Hanks, are these two movies. So that's what I'm trying to put here at number 3.
I haven't seen this movie.
Oh God. Okay.
Is
that true?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't watch it.
Okay. Sorry.
It got recommended to me by a lot of people. I just couldn't. I'm only a man. I could only fit in so many films.
True.
I bore witness to it today for the first time. Wasn't thrilled, to be honest.
Okay.
did not really like it at all. But
follow your heart.
There's a lot that rides on these top 3. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. So,
Cameron, can you just like allude to where you might be headed with the number 1? I want to make sure we're going in the right fucking direction. Like, I don't want to veto this, and then Ben plays like something insane, and then you're number 1. You're like, oh, let's play, I don't know, Charlie Wilson's War. We can't have that.
Didn't barely even know that movie exists.
But I watched that movie for this pod. Disappointed.
not on the short list.
When are we doing the Philip Seymour Hoffman draft?
You know my number. Sign me up, man. I'm ready. Let's go right now.
What if I actually didn't have your number? I've only podded with you for 4 years combined with all of our pods, and it's just all over Twitter DMs.
Along came Polly, number 1. Philip Seymour.
It's all on Slack. Keep it profesh. I'm tempted to veto this as well. I just don't know what Ben's going to do. Oh yeah, you do have a veto. I just don't know what's going to happen if I do that.
I mean, here's the thing. If you veto it, he can't use the veto override. And his veto override is almost useless unless he overrides my veto. And if I play my veto, I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
I just don't I don't think it's very responsible of us to have this movie on here when 2/3 of us are like, should it be on here? I feel like we're repeating the Sleepless in Seattle conversation. You guys were much harsher on that film.
Sounds like you've got a veto too, though, Ethan. Like, if you use it,
I do. Cameron has the first right of refusal.
Oh, that's true.
So, Cameron, a little technicality on this pod that we forgot to mention is based on the way that our names end up on the spinner. That is kind of the process of vetoes. So you would have the first right of refusal for a veto. If you do not use it, it would then come to me to use my veto.
Gotcha.
But if you don't use it here, when are you going to use it? You guys know what I'm putting at number 2. I've been very forthright about that.
I'll tell you this. What I would replace it with is the new movie I watched.
Ooh, I like that. That's enticing. That's like a what's behind door number 3 proposition, and I will always take that.
Yeah, I guess who's it more valuable to have the veto for the last 2 picks, I guess? Or does it really matter?
I mean, if he holds true to his word, then it makes more sense for him to have it, since, you could veto yourself at number 1 if you wanted to. But
I guess it depends on if I want to. Okay, I'll use it. Let's go with that.
We wore him down. We broke him down, and he finally used his veto. We did it. We accomplished what we set out here to do.
I was just we're here at the top.
Yeah, fine. It's powerful. It's a power play. That's a good move. Sorry, Ben.
It's all good. I love talking about Elvis. I can't wait.
Oh, jeez.
I can't wait.
That's okay. Wow. You would have lied on so many fronts if you play Elvis right here. You would have just.
I know, that would be kind of funny.
That would be funny. That would be a really good long con.
I've never seen it before.
Not in this light. Not on my own TV.
Yeah.
I am going to be going for one of his 2 Oscar wins, and I'm going to be playing Philadelphia at number 3.
Okay.
Love that. Love it.
It was a really, really good film. Some stuff that's hard to watch because, I mean, just like the. Have either of you guys seen it?
I saw it for the first time today, and I was really surprised with how, considering how much I dislike his other Oscar performance.
Yeah.
I was surprised I was kind of captured by this movie today.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I felt, very much so. And going into it with like 2 of America's biggest actors, you know, I would probably put Denzel in the best, running. I think he's amazing. So seeing the 2 of them share the screen was fantastic. Mary Steenburgen, she's amazing in this as well. But we get to kind of watch the Denzel character go from this like fear of homosexuals and, people with AIDS, and then having to like represent Tom Hanks, who's going through this disease. And, as a kid, like I was around people that I grew up in California and was in San Francisco quite a bit and grew up in the LGBT community. So I also felt very affecting of just like knowing people that had died from AIDS and had suffered from it. I'm surprised for myself that it took this long to watch this movie, but I'm very glad I did. If you're listening to this when it comes out, it's on the Criterion channel. It's streaming there right now if you have it. So go check it out. But I thought it was a great performance from Hanks. I'm curious. I want to look it up because like Denzel better have been nominated because he was equally as good, if not, even more powerful. Like he was amazing in this, but Tom Hanks just like kind of owns every single scene. Talk about like wasting away and like really getting into the character. He does that. He pulls that off really well. I don't know. They do some things that I think maybe haven't aged well to get you to like dislike the Denzel character at the beginning that I didn't like love, but unfortunately it falls into like, it was a different time, like that kind of stuff. But really, really powerful movie. Glad I watched it. Bummed about Leave the Realm, but I'm glad that this will possibly make the list here.
I think this is the much more responsible pick here at number 3. I think people will be pretty satisfied. Unfortunately, I don't know if I explicitly stated earlier in the pod or if I just alluded to it, but this is the biggest movie that I didn't see, where I felt like this will definitely be played. This will definitely be talked about. I did not get the chance to see Philadelphia. And unlike some other films that we've talked about, I will in fact be watching this movie. I need a break from Tom Hanks for a little bit. I got to be honest. I'm a little tired of seeing him on my screen, but I will come back and I plan to watch Philadelphia. Nominated for 5 Oscars. Of course, Tom Hanks wins.
I can't believe Denzel wasn't nominated. That blows my mind.
Yeah, and this is Jonathan Demme coming off of Silence of the Lambs too. So
yeah,
I totally forgot about that he directed this, and I saw it and I was like, oh, we're in for some good stuff, and it shows. It shows a lot in the cinematography and all that. But yeah, great. This is much better than Forrest Gump. I'd much rather see this on the list than
for sure.
Get Gump out. IMO.
I'm with you.
Love to hear that, honestly. I've been waiting for I will keep a pin in the Gump conversation in case it gets played, but I'm excited to talk about that. Okay. Philadelphia number 3. Great pick. Okay. My number 2, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Should come as no surprise. This is actually number 1 on my personal list, a movie that I watched for the very first time going into this draft. I will, in fact, be playing the other Nora Ephron film starring Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. I'm going to be playing You've Got Mail. I think this movie is sublime and like kind of perfect. I'm really excited to rewatch it because then I know I'll give it 5 stars and it can join the 5-star club once I do rewatch it. And I was like crying just at intermittent points in this film. I think it is just a delightful, delightful movie. Love this movie.
Sushi. Yeah, I love this movie. This is top 3 rom-coms for me. This movie is fantastic. I'm glad that we found some sort of agreement to put this one on here instead of Sleeping in Seattle. Sleepless in Seattle. I was worried about that. But yeah, I'm super happy to see this on the list. I think this is a fantastic film.
Love it.
Yes.
No qualms.
Don't cry, Shop Girl. Don't cry. I wanted it to be you. I wanted it to be you so badly. God damn it. It's so good. On.
You could have had it in the adapted screenplay draft. I think it's based on a previous film like Shop Around the Corner or something.
I don't think I watched it in time for the adapted screenplay draft. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also bookstores. Where'd those go? You know?
Yeah.
Where are they at?
Shout out bookstores. Portland's got a great bookstore scene here. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, our local bookstores are crushing it.
For sure.
You've got Mail Style.
Owls, is that right?
Yeah. Powell's. Pretty good stuff. Lots of locations all over the city.
I've got several bookmarks from there. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah. Support local bookstores. That's the moral of this exercise. That's what we've arrived at today.
That's what we got here for.
Again, another just A1 Steve Zahn performance. He is so funny. Amazing. When they're talking about the fact that her date could have been the rooftop murder and what he is doing in that scene is lights out material. And I just like to think that everybody who works with Steve Zahn is just like, cook, my guy, like do whatever you want. And he just like kind of does his thing. He's so good in this. Okay. Wow. We've arrived at the number 1 pick of the Tom Hanks collaborative draft. And I would have thought at this point in time, I would have had an idea of where we might land as a collaborative unit on number 1, and I still do not. I don't. Yeah. I have no idea what you're going to do.
I'm going to. There's no need to do a preamble. Gonna play hopefully to parts of the crowd here. We're gonna go. One of my favorite rom-coms, Sleepless in Seattle, number 1.
Wow! That's insane!
Houston, we have a problem for sure. That's the number 1 pick. This is amazing.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Cameron, I think you have won the award for the dirtiest, cleanest strategy here on the Movie Draft Pod. That's remarkable. That through the last 6 picks, the last 5 picks, you've not said a word.
Just letting things fall where they may, you know. Happy to have 2 of my favorite movies of all time at the top 2, if that's how it stands.
Oh, this is wild.
In my rankings, I would flip them, but that's okay.
Wow, Ben, you must be a little shocked.
Yeah, to say the least.
Oh, wow. Man. I mean, look, I feel a lot of weight right now because I have a veto.
Should. You wanted the power. You even said earlier you wanted the power. And now you have it.
I did. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to roll the dice on this one. I'm going to veto this. And I know, Ben, you're not going to use your override unless you're doing the long con here again.
Staying in my pocket for sure.
This is where things get personal for me. You've Got Mail is a far superior movie to Sleepless in Seattle. It's just like much, much better. So even though you would have switched them, Cameron, I can't have a graphic go out where it's like Sleepless in Seattle is the better movie because I need to know people know what we think here on the show.
Yeah. It's amazing.
That's fair.
I love it.
That's fucking sick, Cameron. You're awesome. You're so cool for doing that. And I know Sophie is just losing her mind right now.
I hope
she would have loved to have both in the top 2. That would have been the Sophie pick.
For sure.
Yeah. She would have figured out a way, though, I'm sure. Now I'm not sure what to do.
Oh, now things get interesting.
I was hoping that you'd just be like, yeah, great. Personal.
Great, dialed it in.
Absolutely not.
Didn't want it at 5, but go ahead. I'll take it at 1.
Facts. They needed to be higher.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Let me offer a couple concessions to you. There's a movie out there called Cloud Atlas. We could put it at number 1. I see that in a deserving spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's also a couple of movies. One's called The Post and one's called The Terminal. Pretty good flicks.
Pretty good.
But you got an open spot. I mean, play them if your heart says so.
Talk us through what you're thinking about. What are you going between?
It's mainly just a lot of gaps I was filling today that I don't feel like super strongly on. Yeah. It's kind of where I'm at because I feel I'm sure as hell Brother Gump is not getting up here. I'd rather put the unreleased, unproduced sequel in there just for kicks, but that is not a film that exists, sadly. So this I think this is where my limitations of of not having seen the full catalog are going to come into play, because like I haven't seen Cloud Atlas.
You don't have to see it to appreciate it. You can.
Well,
you've seen the poster, right?
I can
the
appreciate it, but
cool.
I can't play it. That's what I would say.
That's fair.
And I also haven't seen The Terminal. That was one where I almost booted it up, but I didn't.
The Terminal should be on this list. I just want to put that out there very clearly.
Here is what I'll say. The two other movies that I saw today that are not represented here or are not a league of their own, because I did not enjoy that one. But I saw The Green Mile and Apollo 13. So I'm getting a sense that there's a pretty clear thought there.
Ben, have you seen either of these movies?
I saw The Green Mile 8 times in theaters.
Holy God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. You have no room on the Oppenheimer slander anymore. That's
here's the thing.
Ridiculous.
I worked at the theater and didn't have a family, so it was like made a lot more sense just to go see that for free. It's not what I would play here though. To me, it's between, just to throw my 2 cents out there, there's a very Tom Hanks film, like extremely Tom Hanks film. And then there's Apollo 13, which is also fantastic. But I think the other one to consider is Big, because I think that's really kind of what put him on the map. I think that's the movie that got him his like stardom. He could carry a film. So
that was not one that I saw to prepare, but I do love Big. And I was hesitant.
Oh, you've seen it before.
I've seen it before. I just didn't watch it today or in the last week. So
yeah,
I agree with you, Ben. I think those are the two.
Yeah.
Are we not having a conversation about Castaway?
Not anymore. No.
Okay, good. I just look. I'm not pro. I'm not advocating for that. I think it is a very average film. But
can I tell you,
people are going to be mad. I'm just going to say that.
My history with Castaway is I watched it at a dentist when they used to have, like, I guess they still do, but like it was the first time that I remember having a TV in the ceiling when you could watch something while they worked on your teeth. And then they finished like 10 minutes before the movie ended. So I still don't know how Castaway ends.
Are you serious? Oh my
God.
God.
Know that he's like on an island. I've never watched the rest of the movie. I don't know. Like, all right, we're done. I was like, well, do I just like sit here for 10 more minutes so I can watch this? Like, it's just, that's it. So I don't know how that movie ends, but
my thing with Castaway before today, that was one of the other ones I caught up on today. Before today, I had only seen about 10 minutes of it at my local National Fitness Center back in the day. They have the big movie room where you can like do the elliptical or walk or whatever.
Cardio
and
cinema.
So me and my dad were getting a tour of all the things, and we just like stood in there for 10 minutes just watching. We didn't get on any of the machines, but we just watched Castaway for 10 minutes. And I was like, I've seen Castaway, but I realized today I definitely have not seen it all the way through. We're going to be going with Big here for sure. I was not Ron Howard. I just don't think he's my guy. And no disrespect to Apollo 13 and all those that were traumatized because of that event, but Big. One of my best friends in high school and middle school, he played the young version of the Tom Hanks character in the stage musical of Big, and so I saw that before I saw the movie. But since then, I've just always loved the movie, and now like putting it in the context of Tom Hanks' career, I think it's worthy to be on this list. And if it's out number 1, then that's where we're at. So we're going to go with Big.
If we couldn't get League of Their Own, at least we still have a Penny Marshall film on this list, which I'm happy.
There we go.
About.
There's some compromise for you.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I think this is a great pick. I've seen Big. I saw it when I was a kid because my mom was like, look, it's so funny. Like the guy wakes up and he's a grown up. You don't want to be a grown up, do you? You want to stay a kid. And I think it was used as like a life lesson tool. And I know the scenes and I know what is it? Zoltan? Is that like the
Zoltar?
Yeah, Zoltar, and the docks and everything like that. So like I have a memory of this film. I didn't rewatch it going into this draft. I'm much happier with this at number 1, and I really appreciate the Mount Rushmore kind of aura that this gives off of like, we have to recognize what put him on the map, a young buck in the business of Hollywood, and Big made it happen for him. I love that.
Wow. I love how much we go off the rails at 8. Like 1 through 7 is like, that's a respectable list, and then 8 through 11
crazy.
are kind of wild.
Isn't that how it always is though? Isn't it always like, the bottom half? You know, just do what you want.
It's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the fun picks.
It makes you dial in for the top.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it adds a level of competition. Yeah, for sure. Because it's like these morons screwed up the bottom 5 picks. Now we have to make up for it and figure out how to do the top. Okay, we've completed the Tom Hanks collaborative draft here today on the show. I'll run through it, and we can maybe discuss any honorable mentions or things that we would have swapped or personal lists. 11, Turner and Hooch, a movie about a dog and a guy. Number 10, Catch Me If You Can. Number 9, Polar Express. I can't even say that without thinking it's funny. So we have a problem. Number 9, The Polar Express. Number 8, Here, the new Robert Zemeckis film. Number 7, Toy Story. Number 6, That Thing You Do. Number 5, Saving Private Ryan. Number 4, Captain Phillips. Number 3, Philadelphia. Number 2, You've Got Mail. And number 1, Big. I think our top 3 are top tier picks.
And I think it's good representation of him throughout his career.
Yes.
We have early funny Tom Hanks. We have rom-com Tom Hanks. And then we have like serious actor, Academy Award winning actor Tom Hanks here. So I think it's a great way to sum up everything that he's done.
I think so too. I think we have accomplished something here today on the show. I don't know if it's a list we can be proud of, but it's a list that now exists in the world. So some of the biggest omissions that I think we're going to hear the biggest complaints about, Tom Hanks is that guy where it's like he has 2-3 movies that are like, those are his movies. You have to identify those as the big Tom Hanks movies. Kind of talks about Apollo 13 a little less so. I haven't seen it, so I can't weigh in on the Apollo 13 conversation. No Castaway on this list. No Forrest Gump. And I'll say no The Terminal because I think The Terminal is great. But really those two are not on this list.
The fact that you've seen The Terminal and not Apollo 13 is
I know.
kind of rough.
You can blame that on us because I did it in preparation for the Spielberg draft way back in the day.
That's fair.
So I had a reason.
Makes sense.
For me personally, 9 of my 11 made the list.
Whoa!
It'll come as no surprise, but your 8 and 9 were not on my list. And in their spots, I would have had Apollo 13 in A League of Their Own.
Wow.
But other than that, I mean, it kind of, for me personally, worked out. But yeah, Castaway. I'm surprised you guys didn't want to play Sleepless in Seattle. I don't know how that didn't make the list, but yeah, I don't know. Other than that, Elvis, all day.
We tried.
Yeah, okay.
We tried.
Be honest. Do you think he's good in Elvis?
No, he's crazy.
All right, good.
I think he's good. I think he's playing a crazy role though. That shouldn't get nominated. No,
that role is atrocious. That role is terrible.
Yeah, he's just doing.
I guess it's the movie's fault, not Tom Hanks' fault. It's Baz's fault. Cameron, is there anything on this list that you would have wanted to see make the list?
I mean, obviously, Sleepless in Seattle. That would have been sick. But no, I mean, everything else is kind of. If we'd put my full 11, Apollo 13 would have been in there closer to the bottom probably. Okay. Which is, it's fine for me that it's not on there. I can tell you, Elvis and The Post are way down there. Nowhere near, which is okay. But I kind of ranked these in more just like movies instead of thinking about Tom Hanks. So I had Catch Me If You Can pretty high, but I think Ben, your explanation of it's more Leo. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like it's cool that it's even on this list, but it's a good like it elevates. It's cool to see both of them on screen, and like I do associate it with him a little bit, but and then I also have Asteroid City at 10 for mine.
Nice.
But obviously that's not a big Hank's vehicle. So, or I mean, it's ensemble. It's fine. But I think the thing might be that I'm just lower on his like not top hitters than most people, and so they all kind of just fall to the bottom. So maybe I'm not a Hanks head.
Well, that's a very astute observation to arrive at 100 minutes into talking about Tom Hanks on a podcast. Yeah, look, I think the biggest one for me not making the list is The Post. I like The Post. I think he's good in The Post. And I think that movie just doesn't get enough respect. The Terminal is a little bit of a bit, but I do think it should have made the list. I think it should have been like 11 or 10. I think
or 9 or 8.
I guess that could have happened. Didn't really think about that. He's just delivering a ridiculous accent. I love his Burger King stuff that he does there. Spielberg is cooking in The Terminal, and I don't know what people don't see about that. Castaway is super low for me. I've seen 20 movies. I have them ranked, and Forrest Gump is number 20. I think that movie's terrible. It's just god awful. So, yeah. You know, I think there's obviously a ton of movies that we didn't talk about. Like nominated for an Oscar for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Not once in the conversation here.
Yeah. I didn't see that one. So tough.
I think it's fine. But I don't think when you're coming up with 11 and you have movies like Here and The Polar Express, I don't think it should be in that conversation. All right, guys, how do you feel? You feel okay about this?
I'm excited to keep my eye on you guys' Letterboxd for your Turner and Hooch review.
That's not happening.
I know it's coming.
Oh, you'll be waiting a long time. Now you'll know what it feels like to be me waiting for your movie reviews. It's a long, long time. Cameron, huge thank you to joining us. I really appreciate it. As a self-proclaimed non-Hanks head, it really means a lot for you to spend so much time talking about this guy. If people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
Yeah, most social medias, you can find me at Cameron Ritter 35, and then Letterboxd is Cameron 35. And I tweeted this out earlier today, but applications are open for if anyone wants to split some lodging with me at Sundance this year. I want to cut some costs, so hit me up.
Yeah, definitely. If you're planning to go to Sundance, hit up Cameron. I will hopefully be joining virtually, so I cannot assist you in that journey, but I wish the best for you. I maybe
live here, so can't really help you either.
Maybe one day I'll split some lodging with you. As always, a big thank you to Ben for co-hosting with me. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
Anything for you.
I don't believe that, and I don't know why you keep coming back week after week to draft with me.
Just
nothing but lies and deceit.
Top the back-to-back Zemeckis picks. Like, what's he gonna do next week? Let's find out.
It really is a great hook for this show. It's like, what nonsense can Ethan get up to next week? Tune in to find out.
Stay tuned.
It's great Tom Hanks energy, honestly. Be sure to listen and subscribe to the Movie Draft Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes will be released weekly on Tuesdays. We'll see you then.